Right, so number 2, we want to find out exactly how to find the equation of that least squares regression line we were talking about in the last video. So this line here that we found in our last video, the line of best fit, how do we find out exactly where that line should be rather than just sort of guessing what looks the best? Well, there's two options. You should know that we now put our least squares regression line in this form, y equals a plus bx, and it's similar to, you remember, y equals mx plus c, but an important thing to notice that's different, that's just what I've written here, is that here we've got the x values first and then the constant, the extra bit is second. Here we've got the constant first and then the x term second. So in statistics we would say our first term is the no x, the second term has 1x, the third term will be the like x squared and then x to the power of 3, and we sort of keep going on, whereas in linear equations we do the opposite thing. We start with the x squared and then go to the x and then go to the 0 x's. It's not super important. All you need to know is that when we're looking for the equation of a least squares regression line, we'll do the extra number and then the x value. We'll see some examples of that, it won't be too bad. So there's two types of questions you'll get. This one, the first one we're going to go over, you'll almost never get. It's such a small part, so I'll rush through it really quickly. This b is the slope or the gradient. So that's like what the m is in y equals mx plus c. The b is the gradient. So sometimes they'll give us this piece of information. We can just find out what the gradient of the line is. So they might tell us the R value, the correlation coefficient. They might tell us the standard deviation of y, and they might tell us the standard deviation of x. But your calculator can find them out, but that's what they might give you in this question. They also might give you enough information to find the a. So they might also give you the mean of y, and they might also give you the mean of x, and you might know the b because you've just found that. That's the slope. So the a is the y-intercept, just like the c in our y equals mx plus c. So a very rare question might give you this information, this information, this information, and this information, and this, and this, and then you just need to kind of put them into the formulas and find them. And there's some of them in your textbook and you'll do some of them. But that's super rare, so I don't even want to show you an example now. And what will mainly happen is you'll be asked to find it with your calculator. So quickly, you'll just make a scatter plot like you always do. And you've done that, so you put in the data, you go to add a new graphing page, data and statistics page. You add the variables, and then you've got to fit the line. So it's pretty straightforward. Press menu, analyze regression, and there's an option that says show linear a plus bx. That means show the line with this equation, a plus bx, which we just talked about. So then you'll hit it, and you'll hit enter, and it'll bring up the line, and then the equation will actually be written on the graph for you. You can see it, you can't miss it. It's not too bad. It'll give you heaps of decimal places though, so I would just say round to 2 decimal places if it's not specific in the question. The second option, I prefer this option, but the second option is you can put the data into your spreadsheet, and instead of like adding a data and statistics page, instead of graphing the scatter plot, you can actually just add a calculator page and press menu, statistics, stat calculations, linear regression a plus bx, and it will set for you a list of what the a value is, what the b value is, and you can just fill it in the formula. I like the first option. You can try the second option. I would try both with the same set of data and see which one works best for you. It's entirely up to you which one you use. Different situations probably better to have different ones. I'm pretty confident that you get good at that. So once you've pressed all this linear regression a plus bx, you'll also need to just follow these things. Choose your independent variable in the x list box, your dv in the y list, leave the rest as it is, hit OK, and then it'll just tell you what the values are. I reckon that's a highly doable thing.